very briefly explain Manufacturing Consent, the book by Edward S. Herman and Noam Chomsky, although Chomsky usually gets credit for it. But fantastic book. The reason I have Hypnotoad up here on the screen is to explain what exactly is happening and, of course, how it relates to Iowa. Well, that wasn't very exciting. There was no consent manufactured there. There was just a thing. Anyways, manufacturing consent is about how the media will play a vital role, or how it does play a vital role, I just can't type, in indoctrinating people to accept an unequal society. Basically, society is super unequal. I'm sure most people realize that by now. It's not even the 1% that controls everyone, it's the 0.000000001%. Basically, there's less than 2,000 billionaires. The media is controlled by a very small conglomerate of very wealthy families and corporations. And they control almost everything that we hear, we see, we eat. It's the definition of a monopoly, all right? The immediate defense of the status quo is actually a defense of the dominant elite. So in the book Manufacturing Consent, they use the expression elite a lot. So you can replace elite for whatever you want. It basically just means the richy rich, okay? It means the bourgeoisie, whatever your expression is, but they consistently refer to it as the elites. But the truth is, all of this is a lot more boring. It's a lot more boring than you think, all right? It's not as exciting as you know, Big Daddy Alex makes it out to be. There's not a secret conglomeration of you know, the Bilderberg groups and all these other things, and you know, the cabal in parentheses, all that kind of stuff. It's just rich people. At the end of the day, it's really just rich people. Okay, so who exactly are the dominant elite, and what do they control? What exactly is the dominant elite's control of the media actually mean? Well, in case anyone didn't know, it refers directly to the globalist cabal, and you can replace the globalist cabal for whatever you want, brother. They can be, you know, your enemy du jour, whether it be Jeff Bezos or George Soros or any of the other blanks that you want to insert in there. But that's who controls the media. They've done it for thousands of years, for generations. Before it was the Illuminati. Before them, before that it was Jesus Christ and his apostles. Before that it was the pharaohs, and before that it was the sun god Kotep. Every single one of them has controlled the media since time immemorial. Yeah, it's actually a lot less sexy. Here's the 6 media companies that control everything, virtually everything. We got General Electric, News Corp, Disney, Viacom, Time Warner, CBS, and this is actually a little bit out of date now. There's been some mergers, so we're down to about 5. I'm guessing by 2050, if we live to see that day, it'll be 2. Disney will probably still be around, as will GE, because GE has other vested interests. Now, why is there a problem with so many small companies, corporations, and very rich families controlling all of the media? Well, the biggest thing is that these aren't just media companies. They happen to be giant multinational corporations. And in the case of someone like General Electric, they happen to control nuclear power and elements of the arms trade. So there's a very big conflict of interest for a company like General Electric to also be controlling what we consume in terms of our mass media. The good news for all of this, by the way, is that Zoomers, and I'm looking at all you young kids, all you Zoomers don't actually fall into this trap. Turns out Zoomers don't give two flies about, you know, mainstream media, your news, your MSNBCs, your CNN, your Fox, all that kind of stuff. They only listen to TikTok. That's it. They get all their news and information from TikTok. So you've got less than 60 seconds to teach them something. And it's really hard. There's a lot of competition, right? If you're scrolling through TikTok, it's like super hot girl, super hot guy, really cute animals, super hot guy, enormous bulge, fantastic breasts, and then you scroll one more, and then it's like one person who's like, oh, by the way, class consciousness, I only got about 15 seconds left, theory, oh, okay, bye. And then they're on to the next one. But, you know, that's just how it goes. But no, the good news being is that, in all seriousness, they usually get their news from your YouTubes, your Twitch, whatever you call this, dumpster fire, that kind of stuff. The bad news is, unfortunately, that the algorithms of YouTube obviously favor money, like everything else in society. So they might suppress a lot of the information that you're trying to get. I know that people who are in independent media have been complaining about this for years. Whether you've got your Majority Report, your Michael Brooks, your Kyle Kalinskis, all of them have been saying that we are no longer in the results, your Rational Nationals. And it's part of the system that we're going to explain a little bit right now. Unwash yourselves, because you have to be part of these unwashed masses. And on the other end, we have the dominant elites, as referred to. So, first, There's something known as political indoctrination. The dominant elites and the wealthy classes basically have to kowtow to the political establishment. There's a couple of reasons for this. When you've got a 24-hour news cycle, and again, you've got your CNNs, right? You've got your MSNBCs that have to produce information very, very quickly. It's one of the reasons, by the way, when you watch interviews or you watch, breaking stories coming out in the mass media, they might look a little bit something like this. Let me get in frame here. Yes, that's right, Tucker. We know that an incident has occurred. We don't have all the information yet, but we're pretty sure that there's something happening. You can rest assured that while we don't have any details yet, we are aware of the fact that there are details, and that we are aware of the fact that there are facts. We're not sure what they are yet, but they will be coming in, and as soon as they come in, we will know them. And that is a guarantee that we will know what the facts are as soon as we know what exactly are the details pertinent to the facts and details in this case. So hopefully any minute now, I'm just waiting to hear. Yeah, it's coming in. Don't worry. We should have a report on the report of what details are and facts. Which is basically CNN like 24 hours a day, right? And one of the big reasons for this is, of course, it's very hard to have verifiable information as well as have credible sources on the fly. So a lot of these 24-hour cycled news media places like CNN, MSNBC, what have you, they depend on two big things. One would be the government itself. The second would be police. So a very, very quick way to get information is have liaisons in the police force who can give you some quick details. And it's even with that, sometimes it's basically, they'll refer to some kind of officer who's like, we don't know all the information yet, but we can tell you that blank, right? Or they might refer to a government body. Or even worse, they'll refer to think tanks. And these think tanks, which are sponsored usually by, again, the very wealthy and the corporate elites, will give them information very, very quickly on the fly. And this is all information that they don't have to cross-reference or double-check. See, when you're a journalist and you want to find out information and you go to a source and you ask someone, you usually have to cross-reference that. You can say an anonymous source, that's fine, but you'll start to lose credibility down the road. Not that these places have any credibility anymore, but both of these are not necessarily for political gain. I want to stress that very importantly. And this is the most important part for me from reading Manufacturing Consent, is that it seems at times that a lot of this is going to be done because they want to push an agenda. And that's where you get into a bit more of the conspiratorial thing. The reality of the situation is all this has to do with money. The rich want to control their money and they want to keep making more money. And as long as they get to do that, they don't really care a lot of what the political narrative is itself. And that includes when it comes to who's the ruling party. What's more important to them is if they get to keep their money and keep it safe and secure, and that never changes. That's more important than having someone come on a radio show or a television show like Noam Chomsky, who might say, by the way, the elites and the ruling class are controlling everything you see and hear. As long as he can say that, and then we can all laugh about it, and they keep making money, that's fine. They'll keep putting them on. That's why you don't see absolute censorship in the media, despite the fact that it might go against their own interests, because as long as it keeps paying them, that's all that matters. Advertising revenue is the number one controller of what filters our media from, again, the elites all the way into our unwashed ear holes. They want to keep making the monies. It's very, very simple. So then, how does this all play into Iowa? Is this the image you've been seeing all over television? Is this the image you've been seeing all over mainstream media? It probably is, or some different variation of that. And there's a very good reason for that. That is them manufacturing consent in real time. When you look at this image and it gets burned into your retinas, and this is all you see, it paints a very, very conclusive picture, right? What do I take from this? I take that Buttigieg won. I mean, we've only got 62% reporting when this image was made. We only know 62% of the electorate, but we know that Buttigieg won. Because look, he's got 27% and Bernie Sanders has 25. 27 is a bigger number than 25. It is. This is victorious. That's all we need to know. And as long as this keeps playing on every major, as long as this keeps playing on every major media, on every major television station, radio station, that's all anyone cares about. That's all we think about. We just keep thinking, yeah, Buttigieg won. Wow, what a surprise. This is going to start the wave. The whole purpose of Iowa is not that it's a kingmaker. It's not like if you win Iowa, you win the presidency. Iowa's a really small amount of delegates. I think something like 44. The whole point of Iowa is that it starts a snowball effect. Once you win Iowa, you go into New Hampshire. If you win Iowa and New Hampshire, you're unstoppable. These are things that directly threaten the wealth of the elites. And because they don't want that, they want someone they can trust. They want this. This is the image that the elites want, all right? This is safe. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican or you're a Democrat, as long as we have someone near the center. Someone who's not going to rock the boat too much. Someone who's going to maintain the status quo. That's why they want these kind of candidates. And Pete Buttigieg is one of these kind of candidates. This is what they want. This is the future they want you to have.
Did you enjoy what you just watched and now crave more nectar of the damned? Did you know that if you're watching on YouTube, you're only getting half the surfy experience? We upload all of our content commercial and censorship free to our Patreon. Due to the general demonetization of our videos, we now upload half of our original content directly to those who can help us produce this show. Want even more nectar than that? Well, come join us at twitch.tv/TheSerfsTV, where we do weekly live streams, debates, interviews, AMAs, and more. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you can help support our show 100% free by subscribing to our Twitch channel. So come join us, be merry, and know that your support is helping us do great things.
Like pay rent and eat.
We would like to thank Miranda Marone. You are our monarch, and we thank you for our indentured servitude. We would like to thank our lords, Ricky Pilgrim, I'm Raft, Michaela Schmid, Tomospin, Ferrer Tajon. You are all the pillars of our organization. To our Knights of the Square Table, Paul Parafit, Daniel Kahn, Clement Chutskoff, Alan R., Josh Mickelson, and Dr. Zayas, Cooper Pilot, Andrea Lynn Epperly, Dylan Bythe, Terry, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. And to our merchants, thank you for taking mercy upon us.